One of the most efficient and effective ways to attack during a rugby game is through the use of set pieces. Now, Gary Gold's got some killer set pieces in store for you today. We're talking about set pieces off scrums. Gary, no pressure.
No pressure at all. I don't know about killer, but I'll tell you what I have got for you today. Let's have a look at this on the big screen. Okay, what I'd like to show you today is the setup of a move from a midfield scrum. Before we do that though, what I need to do is explain to you, if I may, quickly how the defence is going to be set up. Understand, of course, that when we're talking about the scrum, and we've mentioned it in previous episodes of Momentum Masterclass, is as we know, within a scrum, we've got 8 of our forwards are taken up, which means 8 of their forwards are taken up, all in a confined space. And what we're looking to do is exploit the rest of the space in the field. Keeping in mind that their scrum half is there at the scrum as well, means 9 of their players are in a very small area of the field, and what we'd like to do on attack is we'd really like to expose the space that's left by the rest of the defenders, which basically leaves them with 6 defenders. Obviously what we need to do is we need to see how the defenders are lined up. So let me just try and show you quickly. You could have 3 defenders here, and the 3 on the other side.
Yeah.
And I won't draw them all. Or what you could have is you could have a situation where they've got 4 defenders and 2. What they'll normally do is they'll try and line up with the way you lined up. How we've decided to line up is we've decided to line up 1, 2, 3 attackers, and we'll have 3 attackers on this side as well. And hopefully that the defenders will be able to line up accordingly. If they do, then this is a move that I suggest we can use. Let's have a look at it quickly. 9 breaks right, and 8 makes the pass to his left. Okay. Set it up over there, forwards are broken from the scrum, and we can then do numerous things. And in this case, what we've decided to do, we've decided to hit the forwards up in the midfield, and then we give ourselves striking options on both sides. Let's have a look at that closer up. As we said earlier, 9 feeds the scrum, he breaks blind, looking like he's going to get the ball, 8 picks up, makes the pass left. Let's say they line up 3-3 as well. Our scrum half breaks that side. There's a very good chance that their scrum half's going to follow him, which means we've left with their 3 defenders on the left-hand side of the field, our left-hand side of the field. Look what our situation is here now. Because 8 is broken on the scrum and he's the one making the pass, he's actually the 4th attacker. So their defender cannot ignore the 8, and he stays on 8. Our 8 makes the pass to our first attacker, to our second attacker, and to our third attacker. We should actually have a one-man overlap over there. The second thing that I want to point out from this move is that obviously all the guys who've made the pass go to that breakdown. Yeah. They clean the ball. Should be their wing making the tackle. So it's our backs cleaning against their backs. And then we hit the ball up in the midfield over here. And I just want to show you, if our backs in this position over here have worked really, really hard and get themselves back into a position where they find themselves over here, they get back into that position, then we've got ourselves a really, really good attacking opportunity. And I'll show you from here. We play the ball left, 8 makes the pass, our forwards are working really hard, as will our backs after this breakdown, and we find ourselves in a position that once these guys have set the ball up in the field, we can attack either to the right or we can attack to the left over here. We can really hurt the opposition if they're compromised.
What I seem to have noticed a lot in the Super 14 rugby is that when scrums aren't working that effectively, scrum halves enjoy to sort of sit back 2 or 3 meters, get the 8th man to pick up the ball and not even run a dummy line like they are here, just pass it back to them so that they're able to distribute a little bit more cleanly.
Absolutely, and if the situation was similarly here, if our 8th man was under pressure and he felt he couldn't get the pass away, all he could do was make a pop pass. Remember, it does exactly the same situation we discussed earlier. It means that our 9 all of a sudden becomes an attacker, and all of a sudden with their 3 defenders on the left-hand side, we've now got 4 attackers, as you can see them all positioned over here. The reason the 8th man will give that little pop pass is it just takes enough pressure off the 9 and allows him to get a pass away. Whereas if he had to come into the scrum, try and make the pass from there, and the scrum's under pressure, there's a very good chance that their loose forwards are going to be on top of him quite quickly and he may not get the pass away.
Thanks very much, Gary. And I think one of the strongest messages which Gary is sending is that if you want to use set pieces, make sure that they are well rehearsed so that you don't compromise on the effectiveness of the set piece because you don't really do it that effectively. Make sure to go and check out our website and make sure to catch us next week here on the Momentum Masterclass.
This masterclass was brought to you by Momentum.